What is going on, guys? Matt O'Leary back with my final mock draft predictions. I am excited to get into this one. This will be with trades. This is what I think is going to happen for the New York Jets in just a few days. And it's going to include a couple of trades, and it's going to include an Aaron Rodgers trade, which I think gets done this week. So we will start there. We'll talk about what I think it's going to take to land Aaron Rodgers, and then we'll get into the mock draft. So first, Aaron Rodgers will be traded to the New York Jets for a second-round pick this year, pick number 42, and a second-round pick next year that could turn into a first-round pick if the New York Jets make it to the Super Bowl. The Jets will also have a conditional pick coming back where if he retires after 1 year, they will get a fourth-round pick in 2025. So with that information, let us start the mock draft. Round 1, pick 13. It's a chalky pick, but I think they do it. Broderick Jones to the New York Jets at pick number 13. There's been a little bit of smoke around guys like Paris Johnson, but unfortunately, as much as I would love that, I don't think he makes it that far. I think he is snagged before the Jets are on the clock. Darnell Wright is someone who the Jets could potentially target if the top three guys are gone. Supposedly, they told Mekhi Becton that he's going to play on the left-hand side this year, but if someone like Broderick Jones is sitting there for the New York Jets, it's hard for me to believe that they are going to pass up on him. Coming out of Georgia, he did not allow a single sack this past year in 2022. He's extremely physical, good agility, mover in space. He's a good athlete. The flaw with him, or the reddish flag, it's not really a huge red flag. I mean, he's a top 15 pick for a reason, but all these guys, you got to have a criticism with it. You can't just say everyone, they're great. Everybody's great. His red flag is he's still a little bit raw. He doesn't have a ton of playing experience yet. He got into football much later in life. He does have starting experience in the SEC where he succeeded. So I think that is not going to be an issue for him going to the next level. In round 2, the New York Jets traded their pick 42, but I think they have a trade back scenario in the second round. Now, we've seen Joe Douglas move around the second round a few times in his career. His first draft in 2020, he traded back and took Denzel Mims. Last year, he traded up and took Breece Hall. He's moved. Usually, he stayed put with his first pick and then moved around after that a little bit. We saw AVT move. He traded up into the first round this past year in order to land Jermaine Johnson. So this is kind of the area he likes to move around a little bit. And with him not having a third-round pick and losing a second-round pick in the Rodgers trade, I think he's going to want to recoup some draft capital. So I have him sliding back to 54. And I think he picks up pick 85 from the Los Angeles Chargers. So you move back, 11 spots, and you pick up a third-round pick with the Chargers. And with that pick, so now round 2, pick 54, I have the Jets taking Keanu Benton out of Wisconsin, the interior defensive lineman. This is a spot where oftentimes I've had them go center, but with them re-signing Connor McGovern, it's still a need, but I think they could potentially get flexible now in the NFL draft with this spot that they're in. So he's great against the run. He has a phenomenal motor. He improved as a pass rusher this past year, but his bread and butter is run stuffing, which is okay. You need that. Is it sexy? No, but do you need an interior run defender? Yeah, you lost Nathan Shepard, who that was kind of his role, and Benton, let's be honest, has a higher ceiling than a guy like Nathan Shepard. I think obviously bring in Jefferson, who's a little bit of a pass rusher. They still need help as a run stuffer, and I think Keanu Benton just does just that. Round 3, pick 85. I have the Jets going Jordan Battle, the safety out of Alabama. He's not necessarily your ball hawking safety, but I do think he can play free safety for this New York Jets team. He's played mostly as a deep safety, not a box safety during his time with Alabama. Nick Saban, defender coming in, give it to me. I know some people have their worries about the secondary guys, or at least the corners, but I think this is a absolutely no-brainer. He could be a day one starter. Sure, tackler, comes up, makes plays, can play deep, and pair him with Chuck Clark, and we probably move on from Jordan Whitehead, to be honest with you, but I love Jordan Battle. He's someone that I wanted the Jets to draft last year. He decided to go back and play another year at Alabama, and I think this would be a home run find for the New York Jets in the third round, someone who can come in and play right away. Okay, round 4, pick 112. I have the Jets going Dorian Williams. I know that's boring. I've had them do that a ton of times. Linebacker out of Tulane. He has great speed, good athleticism, and he's good in coverage. How many times have we seen Jets linebackers get lost in coverage? That's not CJ Mosley's strong suit anymore. He's lost a little bit of a step. He's much better against the run. We know that Quincy Williams isn't really great in coverage. He's best suited coming down, making plays at the line of scrimmage. Dorian Williams is someone who I think can come in and be that coverage linebacker 3. They don't have Quan Alexander right now. Could they bring him back? Sure, but they need a longer-term answer, and having Dorian Williams to this linebacker room, I think, would be a great add for this team. Round 5, pick 143. Here is where I have the Jets going center. Normally, it would be earlier on. I would have them going center, but they take a developmental guy in Ricky Stromberg out of Arkansas. High football IQ. He's a mauler in the run game, good physically. He has some work to do as a pass protector, which is expected as a day 3 guy, but he's someone who I think could sit behind McGovern for a year and then potentially take over beyond that. They desperately need a long-term answer at this solution. At this position, I think Ricky can be that guy, and it allows you bringing back McGovern while we all, I think, kind of thought it would be Ben Jones and a rookie. They might pass up taking a center this year after bringing back McGovern. I would hope that they don't, but a day 3 guy like Stromberg is someone who I really like a lot. I've seen him go as high as the 4th round. I've seen him go as low as the 6th round. I split the difference. I take him in round 5. And it's not uncommon to see these developmental day 3 centers come in and have some success. I don't think you'll have to play his first year. He can just sit, redshirt, and at this point in the draft, 5th and 6th round, I'm okay with getting guys who could redshirt, even though, yes, this is a go-for-it year. The first 4 picks, or the picks in the first 4 rounds, I think are guys who could have immediate impacts on this team, and then drafting a guy who can be your starting center potentially in 2024 and beyond, I think is worthwhile. And the final pick of the mock, round 6, pick 207, I have the Jets going wide receiver Ronnie Bell out of Michigan. Supposedly Denzel Mims has rubbed some guys the wrong way, so they might need that replacement. And plus, even if he is on the roster this year, then they're probably not re-signing him. He's a UFA after this year. He's a jump ball threat, long arms, good vertical. You could always use a guy like that in the red zone. Throw it up to him, let him go up and catch the football. Round 6 receiver, not too much more to say on that, but would probably be that Denzel Mims kind of mold, or what they wanted Denzel to be at this level. So just a quick look at the depth chart after this draft and, updating it here. On the offensive side of the ball, quarterback, Rodgers and Wilson, I think would be the 1 and 2. I'm not sold that Boyle's going to be QB2. Running back room, Hall, Carter, and Knight. I think that's more than fine. Breece Hall is expected to come back and be ready to go for week 1. I think Carter and Knight bounce back with an improved offensive line. Wide receiver room, Wilson, Lazard, Hardman, Davis, Bell, and maybe Denzel Mims is wide receiver 6, or he's a cut candidate. Tight end room, Conklin, Uzama, Ruckert. There's been some smoke about the Jets adding a tight end. I don't buy it. I think that's the 3. Left tackle, I'll have Broderick Jones starting. Dwayne Brown, possible cut candidate, which is more than okay with me. Free up some $10 million. Laken Tomlinson, left guard, McGovern, center with Stromberg backing him up. AVT, right guard, Mekhi Becton on the right tackle side with Max Mitchell, Cedric Ogbuye backing them up. On the defensive side of the ball, edge rushers, you have Lawson, JFM, Huff, Johnson, and Clemens. Interior defensive line, Williams, Jefferson, Benton, Smart, Thomas. Linebacker room, Mosley, Williams, Dorian Williams, Sherwood. Cornerback room, Gardner Reed, Carter II, Eccles, and Hall. Free safety battle with Tony Adams backing him up. Strong safety Clark. I guess we can leave Whitehead on the roster for now, but he is also someone who I think could be a cut candidate. So there we go. Let me know how I do with my final mock draft and trade for Aaron Rodgers. Sound off below. I am Matt O'Leary. I'll catch you next time.